This episode of Eminence Legacy podcast is brought to you by FE26 Legion, built for disciplined, not the distracted. Every FE26 design is released for a limited season and then retired into the vault. No restocks, no reruns. If you're wearing FE26, it's not because you followed a trend, it's because you live by a standard. Find the current season at fe26legion.com. Discipline remains, the Legion endures. Welcome back to the Eminence Legacy podcast. I'm Jose Luis Cadena. This is a Conviction Series Week 8 companion. Early this week, we talked about the call back to responsibility. But today I want to talk about something most people never say out loud. Responsibility feels heavy. Not because it's wrong, because it's real. Because the moment you accept responsibility for your life, you lose the ability to blame circumstances for where you end up, and that realization can feel uncomfortable. Most people don't avoid responsibility because they're lazy. They avoid it because responsibility feels like weight. Weight on your decisions, weight on your discipline, weight on your time, weight on your direction your life is heading. And when people feel the weight, they do something very human. They try to put it down. They distract themselves. They stay busy. They postpone decisions. They wait for a season when things feel easier. But here's the truth most people eventually learn. Putting down responsibility does not remove the weight. It just transfers it to tomorrow, to regret, to missed opportunities, to the quiet realization that years passed while you were waiting to start. There's something powerful about responsibility that people misunderstand. Responsibility does not crush you. It strengthens you, but only after you carry it. At first, it feels like pressure, but over time it becomes structure. At first, it feels like discipline, but over time, it becomes identity. At first, it feels like effort, but eventually it becomes who you are. That's transformation most people never experience. Not because they can't, because they never carry the weight long enough to grow stronger. So tonight I want you to sit with the honest question, not a comfortable one. One honest question. What responsibility in my life have I been avoiding because it feels heavy? And maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your leadership. Maybe it's your discipline. Maybe it's a decision you already know you need to make. Whatever comes to mind, that's not guilt, that's direction. Because responsibility rarely arrives as excitement. It arrives as conviction. Next week, we take this even further. Because one responsibility is accepted, something else appears, pressure. And we're going to talk about why pressure isn't the enemy of growth. It's an environment where growth actually happens. If this conversation sharpened something in you today, follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And if this message resonates, take a moment to leave a review. That's how this message reaches people who are still searching for direction. But before we close, pause for a moment. Think about someone in your life right now, someone who might need strength, perspective, or clarity. If this conversation gave you clarity today, pass it forward. The right insight in the right mind can ripple further than we ever expect. Eminence Legacy was never meant to stay in one set of ears. If something here gave you strength, clarity, or direction, pass it forward. Because real legacy moves, voice by voice, life to life. This is the Eminence Legacy podcast. And remember, together, let's rise to our eminence. Catch you in the next one.